Justice doesn't knock on the door. It kicks it in when the time is right. Let that sink in, chosen one. Because while they believe they could get away with everything they did to you, the universe has been watching silently, gathering evidence, waiting for the right moment to strike. And now the walls they built to trap you are closing in on them. Their names are being written into the kind of story no one wants to star in. The one where the final scene ends behind bars. Think about this for a moment. Chosen one. They planned. They skimmingly talked in low voices because they were sure no one would hear them. They believed they had the power to kill you, take away your freedom, and ruin your peace. They tried to hurt your reputation, poison your name, and leave you gasping for air. You might fall, but they are the ones who are sinking. Seeing someone set a house on fire and then realizing they locked themselves in before lighting the match is like that. That's the kind of swift, poetic, and cruel reversal that the universe loves. Keep this fact close to you. More than 90% of the time, people who think they have hidden their tracks are caught because they are too proud. They lie, mess up, and put their trust in the wrong person. They leave crumbs where they thought it was quiet. That trail of crumbs led the police right to the feast of their guilt. That's exactly what's going on right now. There is no need for you to protect the universe. It lets them get caught every time they are careless. Even though they thought they were after you, they were really writing the warrant for their own arrest. Also, thanks for being here with me, chosen one. Don't forget to thank this message by pressing like and subscribe to help it reach more people. We should all work together to spread the light. Thanks for being a part of this mission, chosen one. This isn't payment. There is no need for this. Being a part of what God is doing is what this means. Your breakthrough is set off when you sow into the message that is making it happen. This tells heaven that you believe harvest is coming. People who sowed last week are testifying about supernatural returns. Money that comes in out of the blue, deposits that come in out of the blue, and favor that can't be explained. You're not just there to listen. You are a part of a movement that can't be stopped. Now, let's get back to the truth that we can't ignore. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose. Join the conversation and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. They were not able to kill you, chosen one. They meant to. Oh, they used every trick in the book, including legal traps, rumors in the back room, and secret plans. Life put a stop sign in their way no matter how many times they tried to hit you. The cruel twist is that they couldn't touch your life. The universe can reach out and touch them right away. And that moment doesn't take long to arrive. It doesn't tell you. In an instant, it turns everything around. One day they'll be laughing at you and making fun of you while they enjoy their freedom. The next thing you know, they're handcuffed, cameras are rolling, and their secrets are all over the floor. Take a look. People who cursed your name will have to answer for their actions. The hands that tried to push you down will now have chains around their wrists. People with the same feet that chased you will walk around in orange jumpsuits. It's not just bad luck. The universe is telling you, chosen one, that no plan to hurt you will work for long. They thought they were safe. But when the universe says it's time, no one can get away. The beautiful thing about it all is this. There's nothing you need to do. You don't have to get back at them. You don't need to show that you're good. Their fall is enough proof. The proof is their downfall. As you rise, they fall. You keep going forward, but they are stuck in a cell, only able to hear their mistakes over and over again. The people who used to think they could kill you will now know they couldn't even protect their own freedom. Hold on tight, chosen one. Because this isn't just about fair justice on earth. It's just in the universe. It's bigger than lawyers, judges, and courtrooms. The universe is writing the end of a story that people thought they were in charge of. You could not find a better way to turn this script around. Not even Hollywood could do it. They tried to drag you onto the stage, but now it's the stage where their mask falls off. It was the brightest light that showed their lies, games, and betrayals. They're going to jail, picked one. This time it's not just about prison walls or metal bars. It's about the universe giving them back the life they tried to take away and making them live with the consequences of what they did. Where your freedom starts, theirs ends. This is not a win for them. It's their sentence. And no one can make a case when the universe moves. Are you ready to go through this with me, chosen one? Because this isn't just a story. People who dare to come after you will be shocked by how the universe turns things around. Leave a comment below with the number 777 if you feel that their time is up. Justice is already at work, but no one can hear it. Pay close attention. Feel that pull inside you that tells you to stay until the very end if you are truly a chosen one. Because every little thing is important. Every turn in this message will make you feel even better about what you already know. Life could end for them in an instant, but it couldn't end for you. So, chosen one, lean in. Because this isn't a game. It proves something. Let's start now. Delete me if you dare. But remember that you can clean up ink stains easier than you can clean up fate. Take a moment to think about that chosen one because that's what they tried to do to you. It was like they wanted to use your life like a file on their computer. Select it, move it around, and then press delete. It will go away. They believed you were useless, easy to replace, and easy to forget. But now comes the surprise they didn't see coming. You're not a file, you're fire. Also, someone can't just wish fire away and make it go away. It gets around. It gets hot. It's still there in the air after the fire is out. Picture this now. A painter works for years to make a masterpiece, adding layers of color, texture, and meaning on top of each other. Then a haughty vandal comes in with a bucket of paint, thinking that one splash will ruin hundreds of years of work. Instead, their careless hit makes the real masterpiece shine even brighter when it is fixed. That's what your enemies did to you. They tried to hide, smear, and ruin you. But because you were chosen, all they did was show how deep you are. Their attacks made your fight for survival look like a work of art. The simple answer to the question, why did they even try so hard to erase me? They couldn't copy what they saw in you. Something that scared them because it wasn't made by people, bought or fake. You have an essence that the universe put into you before. They even thought to hate you that they will never have. They didn't want to get rid of you because you were weak, but because you were a loud voice of truth that they could never silence. You were made to last. Let me give you a harsh fact. This has been looked into many times by psychologists. People who can't handle you will instead try to hurt your reputation. Why? Since it's the only thing weak people have left to fight with. They will say bad things about you, twist your words, and make up stories to get people to agree with them. But crowds change their minds. Lies don't hold up well over time, and the truth is always stronger than it was before. That's precisely what took place. They tried to bury your name because they couldn't kill you. But look at you now, breathing, thriving, and louder than ever. They thought that insults would be the knife, but their own words were the truth. Every whisper and smear campaign showed how much they loved you. Because, think about it, why did they put in so much work to delete someone who doesn't matter? Why spend nights and plans on someone they said didn't matter? The truth is that their fixation on you showed how important you were more than your silence ever could. Their survival turned into a mirror for them. They didn't like the reflection either. This is what they will never say, though. Every time you rose from the ashes, they knew they weren't fighting a normal person. They were up against a force. You turned into a living proof of their lies. Their chaos looked silly next to your peace. Their cruelty was made fun of by your strength. Your existence made fun of their failure. And the longer you had to go through it, the worse they got. They weren't just trying to get rid of you anymore. They were trying to hide what your survival showed about them. They told you that they were weak, mean, and the bad guys in a story they tried to pass off as yours. Now listen to this chosen one. If someone tries to get rid of someone who the universe has marked for all time, they not only fail, they destroy themselves. Making cuts in water with a blade is like that. While the water stays, the blade only gets duller. They had that happen to them. They cut you with their sharp knives, but you didn't break. Their weapons went off in a way that hurt them, and the scars they wanted on you turned out to be holes in their own masks. Every lie they told led back to their own guilt. They got caught every time they tried something. And now they have to deal with the poetic justice they didn't see coming. They thought they were building your coffin, but they were writing their own. They thought they were writing you off, but they were actually keeping a record of what they did. It was their downfall that they thought they were putting an end to your story. It's funny how the universe can trap itself in pride, and now chosen one, they are the ones caught. Life could end for them in an instant, but it couldn't end for you. That's not getting even. It is all right. That's not being mean. It's fixed now. Take a look at it this way. They tried to unplug your light like it was a lamp, but you're not hooked up to them. You are hooked up to the power source that keeps galaxies going. No matter how many switches they flip, they can't dim you. It's now the light they tried to block that shows every shadow they live in. They thought they could get rid of you. But your glow makes everyone see them for what they are. That's not the kind of justice that a courtroom can give. Now I want to ask you, chosen one, can you see it now? Can you see why they're scared? That's not all that's at stake. It's about what lets you stay alive. It says they failed. It says they lied. It says that they never really had power. This is the scariest thing that can happen to a fraud. Their mask falls off in front of everyone. That's where they are now scared, falling apart and open. And now for the last truth. You were never written in pencil, so they couldn't erase you. You were carved out of stone. You were sealed in permanence. And no one can beat permanence. They break into pieces. They deserve what's coming to them now because of that. That's why everything is closing in on them. They couldn't take your life. But now they have to live with the fear that the universe could take theirs at any time. What is going to happen can't be fixed with an apology, an excuse, or a cover-up. The war they fought against you was really a war against fate. And fate always wins those kinds of wars. If you tell a liar the truth, you'll find out if they are willing to change or wish to destroy it. It happened just like that when you came into their lives, chosen one. You weren't just another person walking by, not another person in the background of their story. You were the test. They put you there as a mirror, a measuring stick, a living checkpoint to show them everything they had buried below the surface. They didn't choose to grow or be honest. Instead, they chose to cheat on their own souls. Think about this for a moment. Someone is given a simple test by their teacher, not to fail them, but to see what they have learned. They already have the answers inside them. The teacher is only telling the truth. But the student freaks out, cheats, and tears up the paper because they think they won't be caught. They do not understand that the destruction is proof that they were not ready. That's what your bad guys did. You weren't sent to force them to be found out. You showed them by just being there. And they didn't get better when the light of your presence showed them their shadows. They fought back. They made the test look like a crime scene. We need to tell you a harsh truth. When people face challenges, they don't fail. They fail because problems show them for who they really are. Which is why just being around you made them mad. You didn't need to argue. You didn't need to say anything. You didn't even need to defend yourself. There you were honest, unfazed, and unmasked. That was all it took to make their lies sweat. They didn't want to hear the truth, which was that all of their fake identities, tricks, and carefully made masks were as thin as paper. And when the paper caught fire in your light, they freaked out. You might wonder why they would go that far. Why would they put everything at risk to make fun of me? Because chosen one being with you made them cross a line to show who they really were. They could have picked love, respect, or thanks. They chose anger, betrayal, and cruelty instead. It wasn't about you. It had to do with them. You told them the truth about who they are. And the universe doesn't mess around when the test is that badly failed. Here's one more metaphor for you. Let's say a doctor examines a patient by putting them under bright hospital lights. The light isn't meant to hurt. In order to heal, the light is meant to show the infection. However, the patient refuses to go under the knife and instead screams that the light is the problem. That's what they did. You were the bright spot. They had the chance to face their infection, sickness, and cruelty through you. To make things worse, they tried to kill the one person who could have made things better. By doing this, they proved their own diagnosis. They couldn't deny it anymore. They were hooked on their own darkness. Quote, "This in your heart, chosen one. The presence of light is never the problem. It is the shadow that resents being seen. They hated you because they hated their own reflection. You didn't bring the chaos. You revealed it. You didn't make them cruel. You simply showed them to themselves, and instead of taking accountability, they pointed their weapons at you. That was their treason, the betrayal of the opportunity to rise higher. And here is the irony. By trying to destroy you, they documented themselves. Every lie, every smear, every betrayal wasn't just an attack on you. It was a confession written in bold letters, stamped with their fingerprints. You became the evidence the universe needed. You didn't have to defend yourself because they defended your importance with every attack. The harder they hit, the louder the truth screamed. And now those attacks are the very reason they cannot escape judgment. Let me ask you another question. You might be thinking, so what happens to people who fail a test this badly? The answer is simple. Consequences. Not because the universe is petty, but because the universe is just. They touched what wasn't theirs to harm. And balance doesn't let that slide. Their retaliation sealed their fate. They didn't just lose access to you. They activated forces that strip away everything they thought they controlled. Their lies turn on them. Their alliances crumble. Their plans backfire slowly, strategically, inevitably. The sentence unfolds. Think about this metaphor. A person is given a golden key that could open doors to freedom, abundance, and peace. Instead of using it wisely, they throw it away. Then use their bare hands to break into a vault that was never meant for them. Not only do they fail to open the vault, but alarms blare, cameras record, and now the authorities are on their trail. That is them. You were the key. You were the blessing, but they rejected you. Tried to break into what wasn't theirs. And in doing so, they triggered alarms that cannot be silenced. Another quote to hold on to. When someone tries to destroy what was sent to help them, they don't just lose the blessing. They summon the judgment. That's the law of balance. You, the chosen one, are living proof that this law works. You were more than just a target. You were used as proof by them. Every time they tried to hurt you, it was another point against them. It's been building up to this point. Another charge has been written in the case. Here's the answer to one last question you still have. Why me? Why did they pick me to be the test? The universe knew you would make it through it. It was aware that your light was strong enough to see through their darkness. You were never meant to be destroyed. You were picked to show, to be like a mirror so clear that not even their lies could change what you saw. They hate you because of this, which is also why you are still standing. The test is over. Chosen one. They failed on purpose, not by accident. They got close to something holy. They did something that they can never take back. Now they have to deal with the results they wrote themselves. They were not able to take your life, but they have given up control over their own. The truth is set. No matter what they say or how they try to spin it, they lost more than just you. They lost their chance to do well on the test. Now they have to deal with the weight of failure, the fall of their illusions, and the inevitable hand of judgment. Remember this, the universe doesn't fail you by giving you tests. When they choose betrayal over change, it fails them. It's because of this chosen one that they are going to jail physically, spiritually, and socially. Where your story starts is where theirs ends. Life could end for them in an instant, but it couldn't end for you. Third, they broke themselves when they tried to bend the universe. People who tried to chain things they didn't make choke on their own chains. Indeed, chosen one. That's what happened here. They were not only envious of you. They were more than just petty. What they did was much, much worse. They went into dangerous territory and broke balance rules they didn't even know about. They believed that lies, tricks, and schemes could keep you in line. In reality, though, they were fighting against the order of the universe. This is like wrestling with the universe. You lose. You destroy yourself. Let's say someone blocks a river with a dam because they think they can control the flow. At first, it looks like the water is coming in. They seem to be following through with their plan. But the tension grows in the dark. When that dam breaks, it kills everyone and everything in its path. Even the fool who thought they could stop it. That's what they did to you. They tried to stop your progress and flow. But every time you got back up, it showed them how weak they really were. You might wonder why they kept trying even though it kept failing. Because they were hooked on control. They didn't like how you didn't fold, bow, or follow their rules. They believed that they could change fate if they twisted reality for a long time. But chosen one, fate doesn't let you change your mind. They signed their own sentence the moment they tried to stop something they didn't make. Let me tell you a fact. Throughout history, every empire that was built on lies and trickery has fallen apart in the end. Not because of enemies from outside, but because it went against the rules of balance. Every corrupt government, from the Romans to the Soviet Union to the most brutal drug cartels, fell apart in the end. Why? Because you can't keep power if the laws are being broken all the time. That's what your enemies are going to happen now. They called it a plan, but it was really just suicide. No one was in charge. It was chaos. And now all the lies, setups, and betrayals they used to try to stop you are proof against them. They couldn't put you in a cage, chosen one, but now they've made cages for themselves. They couldn't stop your rise, but now their own fall has crushed them. The universe always pays its debts with interest, so the bill is due. 4. They tried to kill your mission when they couldn't kill you. They tried to bury your name because they couldn't kill you. Putting the truth down, though, only makes it louder. That was their cruel obsession with you, chosen one. They knew they couldn't stop your heartbeat. So, they went after your future, your hope, and your voice. They believed that if they couldn't bury you, they could at least kill your fate. So, instead of using knives or bullets, they attacked with whispers, lies, and shadows. Think about this. A snake that can't bite goes after the nest. That's what they did. They crept into conversations and poisoned people's minds with poison that looked like worry. In public, they pretended to be victims, but behind closed doors, they planned how to make you look unstable, untrustworthy, and not worthy. They believed that if they could make you look bad, cut you off from help, and hurt your reputation, your mission would fail. But they did something wrong. Purpose isn't easily broken. Destiny is not as thin as paper. There was no way to break it no matter how hard they tried. One might wonder why they were so angry all the time. Because your light showed them the dark places they lived. Their lives were in danger because of your influence. They were scared at the thought of having their voice heard, their reach growing, and their gifts shining. They worked even harder to make you look like the problem. Still, every time they tried to kill your destiny, they made it stronger. You became braver after each betrayal. All of the lies were brought to light. Each hole they dug made the truth stand out more. Keep this fact in mind. Reputations that are built on lies fall apart on their own, as history shows. Take a look at Salem's false accusers. Think of the witch hunts that McCarthy led. At first, the lies spread quickly, but in the end, the truth beat them. The same thing is taking place here. Not only was their slander false, it turned into proof. What they used to hurt you has now turned around and hurt them. Now comes the irony. The holes they dug for you are now their prisons. The lies they told about you were like handcuffs that were getting tighter around their own wrists. The force they used to shut you up is now coming back to them in the form of justice knocking on their doors. Let this sink in, chosen one. The fact that your destiny is being attacked shows how strong it is. They were not able to delete your mission. By making their war against you so clear, they wrote it into history. Now the silence they were trying to keep has been broken. Your destiny is clearer than ever, and their fall is proof of it. They thought they were people who were trying to kill you. Instead, they were there to see your rise. They were able to make their own noose by telling lies one after the other. If you give a liar enough rope, they will make their own net. That's the law that your enemies never got. Some people thought that being quiet would keep them safe. They thought that waiting meant they were okay. They thought the universe didn't care about how bad they were because nothing bad happened to them right away. But the truth is easy to see. Justice is always slow to come. Justice is coming. As long as they keep walking, bragging, and digging, the hole they dug for you will swallow them whole. Picture this now. A thief thinks he has been able to steal for years without getting caught. He gets cocky, messy, and haughty until he steals something while the cameras are rolling. The whole house of cards falls apart because of that last act. That's your enemy. Picked one. Too much bravado, too much openness, and too much bravado in their plans. Every move they made didn't prove they were going to win. It was more and more evidence against them. You might be wondering why the universe stopped them sooner. Why did they leave me to deal with their chaos? Being patient is not a sign of weakness. Being patient is a strategy. The universe gave them times to go back, chances to be humble, and chances to fix what they had done. But they didn't slow down. Instead, they pushed harder. They chose to lie even more instead of telling the truth. And when someone's pride is stronger than their morals, they write their own tragic ending. This is something important to know. In the past, many people thought that short-term success at doing bad things meant they would never be hurt again. They all went up and down dictators, crime bosses, and dishonest leaders. They thought they were above the law because they were cocky. But justice always comes all the time. That's what's going on now. Their gallows weren't made of wood and nails. They were made of lies, threats, manipulation, and plans. Each lie was a plank. Every lie was like a knot in a rope. The noose is getting tighter around them now. It's a cruel irony. They are caught in the same traps they set for you. They are now being held down by the same lies they told others. Silence was the sound of the police gathering evidence, not people running away. There is no way out now. The bill is due now. We can't take it any longer. The sentence has been given. And at this point, the universe doesn't send out warnings. There are effects of it. Chosen one, let this truth hold you steady. They never got away with anything. They bought time to make their own fall happen. And now it's time for the crash. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Sixth, the most obvious proof was your silence. Being quiet is bad. That sound is what scares liars the most. Chosen one was what made them jump. They thought you would argue, scream, clap back, and prove yourself. You didn't, though. You did not fight with words or fists. You fought by not moving and letting your innocence speak louder than their poison. And the fact that you didn't give in and become like them was the very thing that broke their lies. Now, picture a courtroom that is very noisy. As each witness yelled and each lawyer tried to change the facts, all of a sudden, a single piece of video evidence played and the room went silent. That's what your purity did. Their lies, exaggerations, and made-up stories kept going on while your truth sat there waiting for its chance. When it came to the surface, it blew away all the lies in one breath. But why didn't I feel safe when I didn't say anything? Why did it feel like their words were more important? Because justice takes time to grow. Lies spread quickly, but they don't last long. It takes longer to find the truth, but once it does, it can't be shaken. Every false rumor they spread was another brick in their own coffin, more proof that they were guilty. And while you were quiet, the universe was writing down every whisper, smear, and twisted story. It wasn't you doing it. It was a force much bigger than you. Take a moment to think about this fact. According to research, lies often fall apart when they are put to the test of being true. People forget the specifics of the stories they make up. They make a mistake, say something that isn't true, and show that they are lying. That's exactly what's going on right now. People who used to think their noise was okay can now see the cracks. People whose mouths used to scream with confidence are now stuttering, backing down, and revealing themselves without realizing it. And chosen one. Your calm made them lose. People started to ask issues. Why hasn't this person fought back? Why isn't this person crying? What makes their peace seem stronger than the chaos going on around them? And those questions brought out the lies. The world had to look at two pictures side by side because of your silence. It's your steady strength that keeps them from making trouble. And because of that difference, the truth was clear. You didn't need to get even. You didn't have to prove anything. You didn't need to turn around. Your very being there, your patience, and your refusal to bend were proof. At this point, the people who tried to bury you in lies are now sinking in the quicksand of their own lies. Your innocence was stronger than all the accusations. Today, it's their noise, not yours, that's making them choke. 7th, they forgot that there are cameras in space that they can't hack. There are people who know every secret. The walls, the air, and even the silence. Remember, that's the part they didn't think about enough. Chosen one. They believed that keeping things secret would keep them safe. There was no one around, no cameras, and no witnesses who could talk. They thought then their plans would go away into thin air. But there aren't any cameras in space to catch thieves. There's no need for a recorder to get proof. Every smirk, whisper, and fake smile was followed by poison. It was all written down by people or things they couldn't see or get away from. Picture this now. Thieves break into a room without anyone seeing them. He doesn't know that every fingerprint he leaves behind is being tracked by an invisible scanner. He thinks he's smart, but every move is being planned out. Every touch is proof. That's what your bad guys did. It was dark when they laughed. They made plans behind closed doors. They tried to hide their tracks, but they were always being watched from space. Their deleted messages were saved. Their curses were recorded in whispers. Their shady handshakes and calls at midnight were caught on camera. They thought you were blind, but they shouldn't have been afraid of you. The whole universe was looking at it without blinking. You might be wondering why those secrets were kept for so long. Due to exposure, it gets riper like fruit. It takes time to happen. The universe lets people lie so deeply that when the curtain is finally pulled back, there is no getting around the proof. The curtain is now down. Their allies are lying to them. Things they have on are being taken away. The people they trusted are giving up when things get tough. It's not a mistake. It has an effect. This is a fact. Investigators often say that criminals lie more about their crimes because they are proud than because they are guilty. They think they can't be seen, talk too much, and leave small trails. That's exactly what took place. They thought no one could find out about their rituals, their deals made behind closed doors, or their mockery of laws they couldn't see. But Chosen One, the same unseen realm they brushed off, is now dragging their secrets into the light. They thought you were stupid because you didn't say anything. But the universe was always putting together a file that was thicker than any court case. You didn't need to catch them. You didn't have to fight back. There was a record against them for every move they made. Now justice is clear to see thanks to court decisions, public controversy, private failure, and patterns of failure they can't hide. They thought they were smarter than God's plan. It was thought that the shadows would keep them safe. The light has already come on, though. There is nowhere to hide. 8th, they made deals while it was dark and signed their own sentences. Every contract that is written in the dark is just a promise to destroy. That's the truth that your enemies won't see. Chosen One. In secret, they made promises, shook hands, and made alliances in places where light couldn't reach. They thought they could trick the universe. The bad guys thought that these secret agreements gave them power over you, over the results, and over areas they weren't supposed to be in. But the truth is that they weren't buying power. One signature at a time, they bought their own downfall. Picture this now. A crook sits at a table and thinks he is winning because the dealer smiles. He keeps putting money on everything. His house, his family, and his soul. Even though he doesn't see that the house always builds up. That's what they did when they took part in rituals, swore oaths, or joined groups that were known for their power and prestige. They thought they couldn't be hurt because shadows protected them. But chosen one, shadows can't change light. What the universe already made can't be changed by a deal made in the dark. Sure, but why did it look like they were ahead for a while? What made the darkness work? Because corruption often looks like it's working before it falls apart. It's the false sense of safety before the fall. They acted like kings for a while, showed off their power, and made fun of the invisible laws they didn't believe in. But spiritual fraud always fails and goes bankrupt. What they got while things were secret is now being taken away in public. They are now liable for what they thought was leverage. This is a very sad truth. Corruption can only last for so long. There are many examples in history of rulers, leaders, and power brokers who gave up their morals to gain control. They seemed unbeatable, but their empires fell like a house of cards. That's because dark deals always have small print. The price is always higher than the reward. And that's where your enemies are right now. They are losing, being confused, being seen, and even being betrayed by the forces they used to work with. Because darkness doesn't stand for loyalty. It lends money and the debt always comes due with time and extra fees. Picked one. This is the contrast that makes you feel the hottest. The other people were signing to destroy, but you didn't have to sign it. You had already been marked for a reason. Covered and picked. They tried to get what you were given at birth. That's when they sealed their fate. Now there is no doubt about the difference between what was forced through darkness and what was planned through light. Their deals turned into chains. Your silence protected you. Now everyone will see which one lasts. 9. They made fun of your faith. They are now pleading for help. They made fun of what kept you alive. But now they know it's what makes them not drown. That's the bitter irony. Picked one. They couldn't stand the fact that you still believed even after all the lies, damage, and betrayal they did to you. You were still strong in trust. Even though everything around you was falling apart, you kept whispering to the universe, which made them angry. They thought your trust was weak, your faith was fragile, and your hope was naive. But what they were really making fun of was the force that was keeping you safe while they planned. Picture this now. Someone who is lost in the desert makes fun of someone else for carrying a water bottle and thinks that person is silly for thinking that they will need it. But when the sun gets stronger, the throat gets dry and people are desperate. Guess who begs for a sip? That's exactly what's going on right now. When you prayed, they laughed. They laughed when you put your trust in them. When you talked about hope, they made fun of you. It's now their walls are falling down, their peace has left, and doors keep slamming in their faces that they whisper the same words they used to make fun of. You could ask yourself, why did they hate my faith so much? To have faith is to defy. They can't measure, control, or change this power. Your trust was like a mirror that showed how empty they were. As soon as you started to believe them, you showed that they were just making things up. That's why they worked so hard to destroy it. They were sure that they could take away everything from you if they could take away your faith. You didn't fold, though. You didn't break. Your faith was built in fire, honed in storms, and strengthened by stress. This is a fact. Research on resilience has shown that people who have a strong belief in something greater than themselves are more likely to survive a traumatic event and come back stronger. That's you, chosen one. You were not gullible. You had a strong will. Now the proof can't be argued with. They thought they were strong because they could make fun of others. But making fun of doesn't make walls stronger. Sarcasm doesn't make peace again. And being cocky doesn't stop bad things from happening. The roles have now switched. The same mouths that made fun of your prayers are now whispering their own, pleading not to be seen and dying. It's too late now. Pride had its time. Now they are being forced to be humble, and it's not being done gently. They are being pushed to the ground and can't get away from the weight of the consequences. The force they thought was just a fantasy is now a very real part of their lives. And the silence they hear back isn't absent. The law is taking its time to make sure that everyone sees what they used to laugh at. Keep this truth close, chosen one. Your faith was always smart. It was your stronghold. The people who made fun of it are now learning the hard way. You were safe the whole time. 10th. They used dark weapons and forgot that the battlefield was never theirs. They got power from the shadows, but they forgot that the light ruled the whole field. That's what they did wrong. As the chosen one, their need to stop you turned so crazy and dangerous that they reached for weapons they didn't even understand. They were fed up with rumors and lies any longer. They were so desperate for power that they turned to the darkest parts of spiritual warfare. It cost them money to do rituals, whisper your name on altars, talk to fake prophets, and call on forces they thought would lock you up. But let me tell you the truth. They weren't calling for victory. They were calling for their own downfall. Think about this. It's just for fun. A kid breaks into a chemistry lab and starts mixing dangerous chemicals. At first, there's smoke and maybe even sparks, but there isn't a real explosion until the whole recipe goes wrong and burns the person who mixed it. Yes, that's what they did. They thought that going into the dark would scare you, make you weak, and maybe even break you. Instead, all they promised was that those same forces would turn against them. Because darkness doesn't help. It hurts. Maybe you want to know why their attacks seemed to work for a while. What made me feel the stress, the confusion, and the heavy weight? Because even shadows can change the look of a room for a short time. Things like storms can throw you off. But storms always pass, and shadows move around when the real owner of the battlefield shows up. Your covering was always strong. They didn't just pick you at random. They chose to fight someone who was saved, marked, and sealed long before they were jealous. That's why no spell, ritual, or whispered hex could get rid of you. This is a fact. In every culture, history shows that people who use dark power for their own benefit pay the highest price in the end. Rulers from the past, secret societies, and even modern manipulators can't avoid the fall that follows. If you borrow power from shadows, you'll always have to pay a huge price. And now your enemies are getting hit by that bill. Their health is getting worse. They can't settle down. Their alliances are breaking up. Their money is running out. They let forces attack you. And now those forces are eating them from the inside out. Chosen one, please understand this. They didn't start the war. They were never in charge of the field. They went onto a battlefield where the rules were set in stone and they couldn't change them. The verdict has now been given by the universe. Their weapons don't do anything. Their altars are broken. They threw curses at people and those curses came back to hurt them like boomerangs. They believed that darkness would help them win. But light was there all along and light always wins. Number 11C. The hands that tried to dig your grave are now jailed. They did everything they could to hurt you. They lied, planned, and manipulated you with great skill because they were sure they could finally get rid of you for good. They dug deep into your life, not the ground. They tried to hide your voice, your power, and your future. They made up lies, put up fake evidence, and turned people against you. And they thought they were winning the whole time. They thought the stress would make you break, that you would fold, disappear, or fall apart into silence. They didn't know that you weren't just made to live, though. You were born to do something forever. You were not just anyone. You were picked to set people free, tell the truth, and bring light. That means they weren't just going after one person. When they tried to shut you up, they were trying to put the will of God in a coffin. They didn't realize how important your mission really was. Now the people who tried to dig your grave are being cuffed, restrained, and judged by the same systems they thought they could control. Right now this isn't fair. It's a beautiful irony. The setup they made for you turned out to be their worst mistake. They made up lies that are now being used against them. They have to answer for the traps they set. They are responsible for everything that went wrong. What's going on now is not only legal in real life. This is spiritual justice at work. When God says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper," He really means it. He is using the justice system on earth to show the world this. When bad things happen, they don't always show up in the next life. People who have been arrested, been in court, or had their reputations ruined show up here. While they thought you were being judged, they were really the ones being tried. Not even they knew that they were being watched, written down, and set up by their own pride. They are now sitting in the hole they dug for you, and all they can do is stare in shock as the world sees poetic justice play out. Number 20. Their attacks were like the wind beneath your rise. They dug holes in the ground to catch you, but those holes turned into platforms. They didn't see that irony coming. Chosen one. Every plan, whisper, and attempt to hurt you wasn't the ending they hoped for. You climbed the ladder. It looked like they were blocking doors, but the locked doors only led to gates they couldn't reach. They thought they were taking chances, but all they did was make room for better ones to come your way. The whole plan they had to bring you down turned out to make you stronger. Let's say an enemy throws bricks at you to hurt you. You duck cover and take hits at first. Then you remember that you can build with those same bricks. They keep throwing and you keep stacking, rising, and elevating. That's what took place with you. Their bad intentions became your material. Their cruelty turned into something you made up. They didn't stop you. Instead, they helped you. You might be wondering how their dislike of me helped me. Why? Because trouble is an unwelcome teacher. You got stronger, smarter, and more aware every time they tried to hurt you. Their traps made you better. Their betrayals made you stronger. Their rumors taught you how to be smart. They made tools to hurt you. But they ended up being used to train you to be in charge. What they meant by subtraction turned out to be multiplication. What they meant to be chains turned out to be proof that you were free. This is a fact. Someone who has been through a traumatic event can grow afterward. It's when people not only get through hard times, but become smarter, stronger, and more resilient than ever. That's you picked. Their plan was to scare you so badly that you would not say anything. But you turned the pain into strength instead. You did more than just stay alive. You changed. In places they said you would never get to, you are now standing. But this is the other side that they are having trouble with. They set traps for you and now they show you who they really are. Their charm is wearing thin. Their stories are becoming clear. The weight of their own pride is breaking down their lies. Now people understand what you never had to explain. The truth was screaming for you, but you didn't say anything. Their judgment is happening not because you wanted to get even but because corruption can only lead to one thing being found out. Chosen one, your rise is more than just making things right. It will destroy them. Every level you gain and every blessing that comes your way is a reminder to them that no weapon has ever been successful. Their attacks made you a king. Their hatred helped you. The fact that they fell showed that they never had control over your fate. Thus, chosen one, we reach the truth that can't be denied. All the attacks that were made against you only showed how strong you are. They failed because of their plans. And your success shows that fate can't be changed. It never happened that you lost. You were being put in place. The righteous have already begun. The universe has moved on. Don't forget that this message goes beyond you. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says give and heaven will open over you. On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now. Join the family and see your heavens open. Your new idea can help people get where they need to go. When you do this, you help souls who are still trapped in darkness to awaken, be freed, and be restored. Every seed you plant grows into a fire for your calling and to keep the people you love safe. Finally, I want you to plant a seed again. Give any amount that's on your heart. Don't give because you have to. As much as you want to give, don't. You should give because you know this message came at the right time for you. You give because you want to be a part of what God is doing. You give because you know that being kind can open doors that nothing else can. This message wasn't found by accident. This isn't just a clear's throat, lucky break. It's a direct message from the universe to you in a safe, high-vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope. It is a promise. It is extending its hand to you. If you accept this invitation right now, you will be able to see powerful content and divine insights that no one else can see. Don't miss this holy moment of your life's journey. There's a breakthrough waiting for you. Remember to like, subscribe, and post the number 77 in the comments to show that you've won. Please share this with someone who needs to know that justice is already being done. You are living proof that the chosen rise. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment. A place where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.